Hi everyone, this is Liz from Creative Life of Liz, and I am here planning for the week of October 20th through the 26th. This is in my B&R Paper Crafts Plan B planner. This week I'm using this kit also from B&R Paper Crafts. It's called Addams Family. This is a deluxe kit using matte vinyl. So here's the full boxes page. Here's some bottom washi and date covers, glittery boxes, non-glittery boxes. This one got wrinkled somehow, but it's gonna be fine. Some functional things. Icons, 4 more boxes, more functional stuff, glitter headers, and 4 more boxes. So I think what my plan is going to be is to use, I think these 3 headers will be my plan, and I'm going to try to get as many of the like spooky ooky kinds of full boxes in as possible. I did the previous week, they were all centered, and the week before they were scattered, and the week before that they were centered. So I guess I'm alternating, so maybe I scatter boxes this week. So I guess I will do the setup for that. So I have the glitter headers, bottom washi and date covers, and date dots. And I think that's all I really need for that initial setup. Somewhere in here, I'll pull out my tweezers that I've had for like forever. And I'm gonna do all that setup stuff, and then I will be back so we can do the interesting bits. All right, here is where we are at so far. Some of the pages are cut just a little shallow, so it's a little tricky, but we're gonna do our best to get everything up, and I think it's looking cute so far. Looking at the full box pages, I have these 3 pages here. So I know for sure I want to use this one and this one because I feel like they definitely have some like spooky vibes that I think are really fun. Here, I think maybe I want to use like these 2 girls as well because this is the same photo at different depths, so I don't want to use both of them. So there's those 2 I think will go together really well. And then maybe I'll use the 2 chess sets or chess pieces. So that's 2 more there. And then I think I should use one of these silk ones because there's 2. And then maybe I'll use these 2 glasses as the other one. So these 2 go together even though they don't go together, if that makes sense. So I'm going to put this one as the full box for the quote box area. I don't think it's been called a quote box for a while. You can tell I've been in the planner community a long time at this point. And then it doesn't really matter which of these I use. They're the same. If I can get either one picked up, that would be ideal. I can like see where it's cut, but I can't convince it that it wants to let go of the backer. Okay. Since I can see this edge right here, I'm just going to cut it a little bit with my slice tool, and then there we go. And then some of the headers are just a hair wide because they kept their little scrap that goes between them, these guys. So just something that I have to keep an eye on as well. All right, I think next up I want to use maybe these 2. think I'm gonna put this one on Friday. There we go. And so then that one puts this one on Wednesday. I mean, this is probably the most Wednesday Addams of the boxes, in my opinion. So I think it's great that it's going on Wednesday. Okay, and then I mentioned the 2 chests as options, so I guess we'll do those next. One here on Tuesday. I can get the edge lined up. There we go, and then that puts the other one, if I can get it picked up. This is one that's going to be stubborn as well, so I'm just going to trim a little bit. All right, looks like that's enough to convince it. So that puts this one on Saturday. There we go. Not perfectly straight, but I did my best, so we're just going to go with it. And then I'm trying to decide which of these 2 I want to use. Maybe I'll use this one. All right, so first up, the girl who is facing this way goes into this spot. I like to have people facing into the spread whenever possible, especially if they're at like the beginning or the end of the week. And then I think I'm going to use this version. Oh, that one peeled up so nicely too. Okay, and I'm going to put that over here on Sunday. Okay, that's looking pretty cute. Moving on to the sidebar. I feel like I need basically every page. So starting out, I do want to put in the this week header. Seems logical. I am going to leave a little gap. I don't feel like there's that much that needs to happen. I need a habit tracker. I think I'm going to use the gray one. Is this color gray? Whatever this color is. I'm going to call it gray. Oh no. Sometimes the problem with the vinyl is that it'll stretch instead of just cutting where it's supposed to. Okay, close enough. Leaving a little gap again. There we go. And then I am going to use this weekly. I can't remember if this version of the kit has any helpful headers. All right, I can use this meals one, which does match the other header, which is a little annoying. Or match the habit tracker, I mean. So in order to separate them a little bit, I think I'm just going to actually stick in this decorative box up a little higher than I usually stick decorative boxes. There's no rule that says it has to be at the bottom. And so I'm going to put it up here. All right, and then I'm going to see if I can pick this guy up. I think I'm going to have to cut. A little bit. It's probably stupid of me that I'm cutting on top of my spread, to be honest. But there we go. That's what I'm doing. There we go. And then there is still a little bit of space left down here. I feel like a box of this size might be a nice size to put in. I'm going to put in this color, even though it technically matches the meal tracker color. I feel like with the glitter, it's not super matchy-matchy. And I just want to use a lot of this color because I feel like it's very good spooky color. Okay, so now we have the sidebar done. Nothing is perfectly straight. I don't know if I can fix that. All right, that looks a little better. All right, moving on to the weekdays. I'm gonna use these skinny strips for work like I usually do. I'm just gonna try to mix up the colors a little bit. I'm not gonna get them perfectly misordered or whatever, but I think that's gonna be fine. And then I do have my plan with me going up. So I think I need one of these, and I think I'm gonna use like the little planner guy. Then do I want to use a little thing? Sure. All right, so the planner is brown, that's brown. I think I can use this gray color for this one. Should probably call it gold, not brown, but whatever. Color naming is challenging, apparently. All right, Tuesday I do have curling. I don't know if I have anything that's gonna come up after that. I do have this guy. Is that my only like exercise-y icon? I could also use the alarm. All right, let's use the little step thing. Curling does take up a good chunk of time, especially because this is one of those weeks where we're probably gonna chat for a while afterwards, because it's the beginning of the season. So I do kind of want to put in something bigger. Maybe I'll use this one. And I'm going to put that at the end of the day. I don't think I'm going to be doing anything after. So I think it's fine to stick that there. Wednesday, I anticipate having a movie night with friends. So if I can kind of guess where this is supposed to be cut. Oh, I can kind of feel it over here maybe. Going right around the outside. There's not really a lot of like lead space on this one, doesn't seem like. Oh, that wasn't deep enough apparently. Let me see if I can get at least a little bit deep enough. There we go. Got that up. I'm gonna stick that down here. I don't know what we're watching. We'll figure it out when we get there, which is totally fine. Moving on to the second half of the week, I do want to note, if I can get this guy peeled up. The rest did so well. I did finish this page, so that's nice. Stick in a Thursday, and then one of these pages. There we go. I'll do the gold. All right, so now we got work in. We do have a bye week on Thursday, so no curling. And then I am going to use this little reel, if I can get that picked up. There we go. And I think maybe this dark purple color. That's gonna be for a video. I'm not sure what's going up. By the time you see this video, you will know what's up. So definitely go check that out if you're interested. All right, and then the last thing I do want to put in is over here on Sunday. I'm gonna put in, I think I should use a little of this light blue, even if it's not a predominant color. So I will use a little bit here. This is my dad's birthday, so I'm just gonna give us a little like flag guy right here for that. All right, I think that's all the pre-planning that I can do. for today. So this is what the spread is looking like. It's cute, it's spoopy, and I'm excited to see how the spread turns out. So stick around for just a second and you can see the finished spread. All right, here's the finished spread. I think it turned out super cute, definitely moody, good for this time of year. And I like the little bits of this kind of blue-gray color mixed in. I really only pulled things from the kit, but I have a good amount left. Unsurprisingly, this is a deluxe kit, so lots of pieces still here. I did finish this one page, but I'm gonna throw the rest of this back in its sleeve, and then I'm gonna throw it in my leftovers, and I definitely have enough left to do another spread next year. But otherwise, I think this is really all I had. I had some curling this week. I had some cat snuggles, a lot of work things going on, and a pretty busy but overall good weekend. So I think that's all I have for today. As always, please like and subscribe below if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It helps me out. Let me know how your week went down below, or if you don't have anything that you want to leave for me, leave me a bat emoji just to say hi. I'd love to hear from you, and I think it would make a really cute comment section. And then also follow me on Instagram and Blue Sky at Creative Life of Liz. You'll see in progress and finished spreads. I tag the shops on Instagram, include them in addition to a description in the alt text on Blue Sky. I also show you bits and pieces of my life, what I'm reading, all that good stuff. And until next time, bye.